bloozers, befuddlers, and even blankies. Everything you need to spend your final years in a happy stupor. Our staff of caring, formerly incarcerated dealers will be there for you all the way. From selling you Coke in the morning in exchange for your priceless heirlooms, to stuffing you full of DMT and letting you set a patio on fire. At Shady Crest, you'll be fully taken care of. Concerned that your family will drop you off in a home and quickly start pretending you don't exist? Don't worry, they definitely will. But you'll be so hopped up on fizzballs, you won't give a good goddamn. Worried that your body is giving out one bone-creaking day at a time? It won't matter when you literally can't feel your bones. Plus, we have special events for all of our residents. There's the heroin knitting session every Thursday, the LSD crossword puzzle challenge, and of course, our weekly Good Molly Miss Jolly dance-a-thon. Shady Crest Retirement Facilities. Stop dying and start living. And also, you'll probably die.
That's very nice. You know, ladies and gentlemen, the celebrities among us in the world are not like any other people in the world, except when they are. Sometimes celebrities look like other people, which brings us to a brand new game we'd like to play called Celebrity Look-alike. And it is in the form of a quiz. So we'd like a volunteer to come up here and help us out with our quiz. See if you can identify 3 celebrities. There's a prize in it for you. Would any of you like to come up here and volunteer to be a part of this and make this long show a little bit longer? Would anyone over there? Come on up, come on up. Yeah, can we turn on the air? I think we've had a... Yeah. I mean, it was important that it was nice and quiet during the monologue because that was gold. But now we can... Come on up. Why don't you step right over here? Step right front and center here. Sure. What is your name?
Oh, Audrey.
Audrey. Yeah, be sure to get pictures of Audrey. Are we on? Get pictures of all of this, by all means. Audrey, where are you from, Audrey?
Originally?
Yeah.
Missouri.
Missouri. Oh, the Show Me State. That's terrific. And what brought you to Los Angeles?
My 2 sons live out here.
Okay, that's very nice.
And a ghost chased me out of my mother's house.
A ghost chased you out of your mother's house?
It said,
Get out.
It wasn't the Manson family murder house by any chance, was it? Okay, good. All right, the game is very simple. We're going to show you 3 celebrities, and I'm going to give you 2 names. All you have to do is guess among the 2 names which celebrity we're looking at. If you get 2 out of 3 right, Barry, tell Audrey what she could win.
You win a signed book by Joe Duncan, or you could win a beer, but not both. Not both. You have to pick one.
Okay, that's different from
We're on a
last
budget.
time. Because last time when you won, you got a beer. If you lost, you got my book.
That's true.
I think that's all right. All right.
I'll take the mollusk.
Okay. Who doesn't want a little mollusk booger, huh? All right, the first celebrity. Is this Zooey Deschanel or Katy Perry? Zooey Deschanel
That's Zoe.
or Katy Perry? She
Zoe.
says it's
Zoe.
Zoe. It is Zooey Deschanel. That is correct. Okay, second slide. Is this presidential hopeful John Delaney or my tax guy? John Delaney or my tax guy? Who do you think that is?
I don't know who he is.
Oh, you got to take a guess.
Guy.
My tax guy. And it is, it's John Delaney. But, it's a common mistake.
Who is he?
Okay, and the tie-breaking question. Is this Mary Kate Olsen or Ashley Olsen? Mary Kate Olsen or Ashley Olsen?
Oh, that's so unfair.
Give it a try. You know what? I gotta, hang on a second.
I really wanted that mollusk.
I don't know what that means. Just take a wild guess. Mary Kate or Ashley? Who do you think?
No, Ashley.
Ashley, I'm sorry, that was a trick question. This is actually the Antichrist. Here's the real one. This is the real tie-breaking question. It's almost over. Is this Marilyn Manson or Nicolas Cage?
Oh,
Marilyn Manson. She says Marilyn Manson, and the correct answer, it's Marilyn Manson. Congratulations. You have won. Let's hook the lady up with a beverage of her choice. Thank you, brother. Big hand for Audrey. Everybody. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, our first guest tonight is a very busy actor in Hollywood. He has a very long resume, and then one day he woke up and said, that's not good enough. I want to write and direct my own movie. So he did. Please welcome the writer, director, producer, and star of Captain Black, Jeffrey Johnson. Hey, Jeffrey! good-looking, disgustingly handsome guy.
But I'm not wearing a three-piece suit.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
nice. It's good
I
look.
went to a lot more trouble.
Yes, I went to very little trouble.
Well, that's how we roll here. Every time we do this show, people leave going, "Why did that guy dress up?"
No, you look great.
Thank you.
And I think three pieces is nice. I think the tie is nice. I think you're pulling it off.
Well, thank you. First time today. So a little bit about you. You're from LA?
No, I'm from Massachusetts. I've been here like over 20 years. I think I just passed my halfway mark.
Okay.
They've been here longer than there. So I'm pretty dug in. A weird thing about that is it's funny because like when I meet people here in California, they're like, "Oh, you're so East Coast." But then when I go back home, everyone's like, "Oh, you're so California." So I'm a man without a home. I don't know exactly what I am.
That's just like everybody in LA.
Right? Right? That's a little weird.
Hang on a second. The red light's going on this. Are we still getting sound? Okay. If it stops working, tell me now. We'll get back up.
We've got this little flashing light over here. It's like, yeah, that's going to be great for my anxiety.
Yeah. That's just a little game we play to distract people. Okay, so you come out here, and you did come out here to be an actor.
Yes.
And you got started right away, and you hit the ground running, and you got tons of work.
No, not even close. I bartended for a long time and worked odd jobs, terrible jobs, some fun, some weird, some interesting. But it wasn't until a few years ago where I was able to string together a couple of acting gigs and kind of just ride on that for a while. And then I got really lucky about 7.5 years ago, and I landed this really good voiceover job, which has kind of like paved my way to a little bit of comfort anyway, which is why I was able to make the flick.
So it's a voiceover job, and it's not a one-timer. It's a steady gig.
Yeah, I've been the voice of T-Mobile for over 7 years.
Wow.
So when you hear that, yeah. So you hear, I appreciate you applauding, but a lot of these things are obnoxious. I mean, like I don't like the script. I'm like, hey, you want to like unlimited LTE data for $30 for family plans and blah 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 blah. I think they sound like shit, but the check's clear.
Yeah,
and it's
I
a lot of
was
fun.
going to say, it took Orson Welles 5 years to make Othello, and I think he had to recycle aluminum cans to do it.
Right.
You go to a studio and say, hey, check out this phone, and you get to make a movie. I think you're doing pretty well.
No, I'm not complaining. No, it's the best thing that ever happened to me, and it's a lot of fun. I like doing it. I get to go to work in my pajamas, and like there's no makeup, there's no hair. You just go in and you just clear your throat, and away you go.
Marvelous. That's terrific. That's
They've been very good to me over the years.
So yeah, because you've done a whole bunch of things, and now you're raking in this dough. And at what point did you say to yourself, I can make a feature film?
About 5 years into it or so. Like meaning, it didn't show any signs of stopping the T-Mobile game. So I'm like, well, this is cool. I should do something. I should make an investment. I should I don't know. And I could have done something really sweet. Like I could have bought my mom a condo or something like that. But instead, I'm like, no, I'll make a movie.
But I'll comp her.
No. She paid.
Oh,
Trust
okay.
me. Yeah. But it's like I had this little story brewing in my brain, and I wanted to make it, and by making the movie, it was essentially like my film school, because like I've been acting for a long time, but I didn't know anything about pre-production. I didn't know anything about post-production. So Captain Black became my film school, and so yeah, it cost me a couple of bucks.
Now that's pretty daunting. For the very first film you make, you're going to make a feature. I mean, did you think maybe I should have made a few short films first and got some of the mistakes out of the way?
I kind of did. I flirted with some short films,
Okay.
just casually. But it was weird. It's like I saw this. I like features, and a few people told me, you should break it down. It's easier to sell if it's going to be a bunch of shorts or a series or whatever. But I just wanted to make a movie. I like being on sets for feature films. I like the whole concept. I like the whole soup to nuts type approach, and learned a lot and had a ton of fun, and now I'm looking forward to doing the next one.
No, already? Wow.
Well, yeah. Like so we just got released through like Amazon Prime and YouTube and iTunes and Google Play, so you can find it, and please do find it. And I haven't. It was just about a couple of weeks ago we got released, but like as soon as those checks, however small they are, come in, it's going towards the next one.
Now, is it? I don't know how this world works. Are you getting enough from these platforms to subsidize all the money that was laid out for it?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
No, not even close. And it's funny because like we made the flick, and then we met a bunch of sales agents and whatnot, They asked me what I spent on it, and I told them. And a lot of people were like, "Oh man, no way, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna make $1 million on this thing. It's gonna be great. You're gonna be sitting pretty." And then the one sales agent I met who said, "Oh, you're never gonna make your money back." I'm like, "You're hired. You're the guy."
Yep.
Because like he was the first guy who was just really honest with me. He's like, "I mean, I want you to. Like, that would be great if you could make $1 million off the thing, but you know, the odds are like very much
You
not
met
in
an
your favor."
honest guy in show business. I hope you took his picture. Did you Instagram that shit?
He's kind of disappeared though into the ether.
Yeah,
I don't know where he is.
yeah. I'm sure they want him out.
Yeah, right.
He's ruining things for everybody.
But yeah, but it was a really refreshing thing to hear, and it's going great. But yeah, like I said, I know it's an investment that may not pay back, but it served my soul. It served
Well,
my
yeah.
intellect.
I mean, you have to. I mean, the first one is never, a giant thing. Of course, you have to work your way up to other things. Now, as I understand it, this thing has done very well at festivals. You've been in a number of festivals. You've won a lot of the things with the
with the laurel
the
wreaths.
laurels,
yeah,
the
which are
laurels.
great. They're so fun. I love that. And in the film festival circuit, I really enjoyed because so we got into like 10 or so festivals. We got a bunch of awards, which really nice and flattering. But it was great.
Mike,
Oh,
time out. The mic has died. I think it's mic died. Can we try this one? Can we try this one?
yeah.
Can we try this one?
It's plugged in, so it shouldn't be.
Number one, number one.
Brilliant.
One. Isn't this fun? One. Isn't this fun?
So festivals, yeah. So we got into a bunch of festivals, which was great. Won a bunch of awards, which was great. And it was weird because because I'm not crazy about the schmooze scene. Like when I go to parties, I don't like to talk shop too much. But when you're at is this completely distracting now? Is everyone just saying? No one's listening to what I'm saying because they're just like the mic's not working. And he looks like a guy who's talking to a microphone. That's
good?
not there. There it is. Great.
We good?
Yeah.
Good.
Hey, we're back!
Hey, we're back. We're back.
This segment is brought to you by Maybelline's Mollusk Boogers.
But the film festival circuit is a lot of fun because it's just like-minded people who want to talk about the endeavor, and they want to talk about like making movies, and it's really neat because like walking up to someone and saying, "Hey man, what are you working on?" That's not the way I like to conduct my life, but at film festivals, that's all you do, and it's a blast.
But now, the theme of this overlaps with directing a movie because it's about a guy who learns to believe in himself. It's about a guy who he dresses up like a superhero,
Yeah.
and then suddenly people treat him differently.
Yeah, absolutely. He's like the character that I play in the film is kind of meek, kind of timid. He's a restaurant owner. He doesn't take a whole lot of chances in life, but he finds this comic book called Captain Black. Someone leaves behind comic books at his restaurant. He starts reading them. He gets intrigued by them, and then he dares to don this costume at a Halloween party. He feels a new strength. He hooks up with a girl that he probably shouldn't have. Which I'm not going to tell you much more about because that's the spoiler. But he finds a courage within this character in this costume, and it gets him into some trouble.
Now, how is this? I mean, stories don't come out of whole cloth. Was this a real thing? Did you experience something like this in life?
No. And anyone that's seen the film, and if you haven't seen it, I promise it's not autobiographical. Because I didn't do the thing that he does. But I've been to plenty of Halloween parties where strangers kind of hook up and it's fun and sexy and cool and you're in character and it's a blast. But these guys took it a little too far.
This is not autobiographical. You walk around as a confident bastard every minute of every day.
Yeah. But I don't do it in like tight black clothing and pumped up chest muscles.
Oh, but you could. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
The film is called Captain Black, and we have the website right here, CaptainBlackTheMovie.com.
Yes.
It is on which platforms?
We're on iTunes and Amazon Prime and Google Play and YouTube. And in fact, I checked before I left today that one of the reviews I got today on YouTube was this film takes sucks to a whole another level. Which, like, I'm cool with bad reviews, but at least get your grammar correct, man.
Oh, no.
To a whole another level, yeah.
Jeffrey, you've arrived. forget the laurels.
Yeah, that's
Some
right.
guy sitting on his toilet in Arkansas just dumped all over your movie. That's how you know you've made it.
Right, absolutely. He might even be overseas too, which is wild.
Oh, you're international.
Right.
You're internationally hated.
Hey, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, the internationally loathed Jeffrey Johnson.
I'll take it.
Thanks for coming down. I appreciate it. And it is time for the, we're going to announce the winners of the raffle, aren't we? Right? Okay, we're going to do it. This is exciting. What raffle? Can you explain the raffle to the folks?
Okay, I got it right here. We're going to pick the winner and then go right into our musical guest. Julie? Julie. Where's Julie? Right here. Here's our winner.
There's another
Julie S. Julie S?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Is that it?
Yep.
Do we have any other? Do we have any other? No other raffles. Okay.
We're ready to go. Let's go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special musical guest tonight. He is the son of Elvis Presley, and he can prove it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to welcome John Dennis Presley.
Yeah.
John Dennis Presley.
Don't you love it when that happens? Accordingly. How y'all doing? Must have been cold there in my shadow. To never have sunlight on your face. You've been content to let me shine. You always walked a step behind. I was the one with all the glory. You were the one with all the strength. Only a face that name. Lord, I never once heard you complain. Did you ever know you're my hero? And everything I'd like to be. Lord, I can fly higher than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings. Oh, it might have appeared to go unnoticed. I've got you right here in my heart. I want you to know I know the truth. Lord, I would be nothing without you. Did you ever know you're more You are the wind beneath my
Something. A little furniture here. From our man. Doing a little furniture moving here. Is this, I don't want to get in anybody's way here. Is this out of everyone's way? We good? That was awesome. Wasn't it? How about it? Come on. That was amazing. Well, thank you for That's fantastic. That seemed, I don't know a lot about music, but that seems like the kind of thing that can't be taught. Am I right?
Well, I've been taught.
Well, I know you've been taught, but I mean, there's certain elements of that no matter how hard, like if I tried that for 30 years, I don't think I could do that. Which isn't saying much about me, really. But I'm just saying, that was, there is so much to unpack here. Now, you are the son of Elvis Presley, and you can back this up. We will get to that in a moment. Let's start, oh wait, you need a microphone. Yeah. Duh. Here you are. How's that?
Oh, thank you.
We got?
She'll
Okay.
interpret. I love.
Thank you. We do 9,000 things. We do 9,000 things at once here, so a few of them go by the wayside. So you were born in Texas, correct?
Yes.
And
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh, Texas, and you were raised by a man. You called him Dad, but he was not your true father.
No, I was adopted at 16 months old
Okay.
by Gladys Lovesmith Presley, Elvis's mother's brother.
Okay.
Was my adopted father.
Okay. And you lived with him and
My adopted mother.
your adopted
Edna,
mother, Edna. Okay. For your whole childhood.
My entire life.
Now you did have some contact with the music world. You
Yes.
You did meet Elvis Presley?
Well, actually, my adopted dad was first in a group called the Deep South Quartet,
Okay.
which then later became J.D. Summer and the Stamps.
Okay.
He was the high tenor singer for a number of years, for about 9 years, and sang with Elvis. Along with some guys.
A little bit louder.
Along with some guys like Cheryl Nielsen and the Jordanaires and, J.D. Summer and the Stamps.
Okay, because Elvis was a member of the family, he did show up at certain events at certain times.
Oh,
and you
yeah,
actually,
yeah, absolutely.
but the whole time, you didn't know he was your father. Is that correct?
No,
Wow.
I didn't know until I was 27.
Until you're 27. And now, what happened at 27 to make you realize? Wait a minute. I want to know who my parents are.
Well, my birth parents had passed away, so I sought out my birth mother,
Okay.
not knowing who my birth father was.
But you had access to get to your birth mother.
Yes,
Okay.
because she was involved in the family for a number of years as
Okay.
well.
And where did she live at the time?
A little town called Butte La Rose, Louisiana.
Oh, sure, I've been there.
Yeah.
So and you actually went there.
I did. I
And you
went
met
there.
her. So you're
I
27,
did.
you found out you're adopted, and you just want to figure out, who am I? What's life all about? For like anybody, I would think would be curious, who are my real parents?
Exactly.
So you go to this small town, you meet your mother, and what does she tell you?
Well, at first, in a kiddingly way, she made the statement that, you sound like Elvis, you sing like Elvis. Elvis is your daddy. Well, of course, I kind of just thought, and you're crazy. And she was, of course, crazy. Yeah. Yes. But then, as time went on and things unfolded and whatnot, then I found out later that, yes, he truly was actually my father, Elvis, was. There's only 3 dates in the history of his career and his life that he's unaccounted for, and that's November 14th, 15th, and 16th of 1960.
Okay.
I was born in July 3rd of 1961. So if you count that up, I was a preemie.
Oh, you were preemie.
A preemie, yes, I was preemie.
Yeah. Wow.
I say preemie,
Okay.
but they mean preemie.
Right.
Yes, like new.
Wow. So that adds up. That's another thing that falls
It
into
adds
the
up,
face.
yeah.
Now, but I want to talk for a moment about what it's like when you find out your father is the king of rock and roll? That must have been shocking. Did you think to yourself, wait a minute? I'm
Coffee,
s- huh?
coffee at Starbucks is still expensive. And so I don't go there.
Okay.
Dunkin' Donuts, I love. Can we use that as a plug?
Sure, why not?
I love Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah.
But weren't you thinking, I'm trying to figure out who I am, and I found out my dad is Elvis. I mean, in the months that followed, you must have been thinking, wait a minute, this has just altered the trajectory of my life. I'm going to be, I don't know what the future holds, but things are going to be amazing for me. Did you start thinking that sort of thing? Or was it just, oh, Elvis is my dad, all right, that's nice. I mean, how do you process something like this is what I'm getting at.
I'm still processing. And I'm in my 50s, I won't say, I'm early 50s,
Mhm.
toward the latter, but anyway.
That's okay. I'm not gonna get into that. But is are there days where you think to yourself, this can't be real? How of all people to have been my father, how is this possible?
Well, honestly, I've had a very unique life, and I've had a very awesome life. My adopted parents were wonderful. And again, my birth parents are phenomenal. So my life's been extraordinarily wonderful from day one.
So you're going along the line. You've been a singer for a long time. Now, obviously, there have been people along the way who have said, "Come on." You walk around and say, "Oh, I'm the son of Elvis Presley." There's got to be people who've said, "No, you're not. Come on."
Well, I try not to say that.
Well, yeah, it's not exactly a party
usually-
icebreaker, but
I usually use Tiny Tim. It works better. But,
well, sure. I'm the son of Tiny Tim. Of course you are. That'll open up doors. But you must have, for years, you must have thought, well, wait a minute. I want to unpack this. I want to find out the truth on this. So how did that come about?
Well, I actually, believe it or not, I was at because I'd written some gospel music, some Christian pop back in the 90s, 80s and 90s. And I was playing music at a little church in Scottsdale, Arizona. And a gentleman walked through the crowd, and he pointed to my wife at the time and said, "I'm sorry, I don't want to talk to you, but I'd like to talk to your husband because I believe he's Elvis's child." And just like that. So that was a guy named Paul Graziosi. Through that experience and that ordeal, we wrote a couple of books, and things happened, and then I met some great people in California.
Now, I know you have been working with a private investigator
I
for
have,
a
yes.
long time, and he has
Years.
uncovered some
Yes.
things
Yes.
to back this up. And we happen to have him here tonight. His name is Paul Cohen, and he's sitting right there. Paul, would you join us?
Let's give him a microphone.
Paul? Yeah, you're gonna have to share that.
Shall we
share the
share?
microphone. Yeah, you're gonna have
Okay,
to share.
we
Go
can
back and
share.
forth. Sorry about
Thank
that.
you.
Well, I'm a little loud, so it's okay.
Okay, well, you pass it back and forth. Now, Paul, you are a private investigator by
Licensed
trade.
private
So
investigator.
you have researched a lot of things in life, and you know exactly how to find information on the up and up.
I'm pretty good at that.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that. And you have, I just want to make sure we got this right. You have the official birth certificate proving that he is the son of Elvis Presley. Is that correct?
That's correct. Let me give you some background on how
Certainly.
that came. I got involved. Okay, I got involved with John back in, I think it was 87 or 89. I was asked to confirm his identity. I am the ultimate skeptic in life, and so I check and recheck everything. I learned from John the county that he was allegedly born in. I contacted the clerk of the court and found out that the birth certificate was sealed by the judge at the time that John was born.
That's a little unusual, right? To seal somebody's birth certificate?
Not really. You sometimes see it with celebrities and people in politics, but it's not uncommon. But it raises eyebrows.
Certainly.
So over the years, I became friends with this clerk, And I learned that this particular birth certificate had been sealed because of the status of the individuals involved. I learned subsequently that one of the individuals was Elvis Presley, who was listed as the father on the birth certificate, with Azona Marie Anderson as being the mother. Ultimately, I was able to gain access, and I had the birth certificate along with the supportive documentation sent to us. One of the things that was critical was that at the time that this birth was registered in the court, the judge at the time was very skeptical and wanted to preserve the record. What he did is he required Elvis to submit documents to the court. Those documents were his discharge papers from the U.S. Army, his Social Security, and his Tennessee driver's license, all of which had to be put into the court and sealed. We were able to get copies of those documents, and they conclusively show the date that John was born, his father, his mother, and conclusive proof of who was there at the time of the birth.
And this is a photo of the actual birth certificate?
Yes, it is.
And you have a copy of it in front of you there?
Yes.
Can you hold that up for everybody?
I'm good at the microphone.
Yeah, you're hired. You're staying this.
This is my calling, I think it really is.
I have the second birth certificate. That's the original.
That's the original.
Is it a good attorney, though? You would see they would have a lot of paperwork.
Cindy has it. Can we show it? I believe it's in this here.
Yeah, it's not fully there.
Can we show this?
Yes,
Towards the back.
Towards the back?
at the very back.
The very back. There's lots of other
Oh,
documentation.
don't show that.
No, don't show that.
Oh, no, not that
No,
either.
no.
Oh, what are we looking for?
It's an
We're
ad for
looking
mollusk
for-
boogers.
Right there.
This one? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the actual birth certificate proving that he is the son of Elvis.
And Elvis submitted those at the time he had the court hearing.
Wow.
Now, interesting enough, the clerk of the court was a guy by the name of Fred Saxton. He ultimately became a Supreme Court justice in the state of Louisiana, and we have a letter attesting to the truthfulness of those documents.
So for all the doubters and all the haters, you've got proof, and this is unimpeachable. This is
Anything is impeachable.
well, this is less.
It's all
Let's hope so.
The degree of evidence that's here is overwhelming.
Wow. This is an amazing set of documentation here. I don't want to show all of it here, but I looked at some of this earlier. This is incredible. And one more thing I want to add is the reasons for doing this. You simply want to know the truth, and you want the world to know the truth. You are, and you've said this, you're not trying to profit. You're not trying to get into the Presley estate and get any money out of it, correct? In fact,
in fact, we have a statement.
there's a statement here now. Now, what is this you're reading? Is this an affidavit? Was entered into court? What is
This is an affidavit and entered to court that says, I have no intention of now or will ever go against the estate of Elvis, my father, past, present, future, now, or known or unknown.
And this is
Any lineage. or
and this
any-
is an official document that's been entered.
Correct.
Anyway, Paul, explain what this record is.
Let me clarify this. I've been in contact with the Presley estate many times over the years. I was requested to send this letter to George Weiss, I believe it was, who is Priscilla's manager. And one of the things that we have to make very clear in the beginning,
George
Klein, oh, right, yeah. But we have to make it very clear that John has no claim against the estate. He doesn't want any of the income, and in fact, the adoption that occurred 16 months later stopped him from claiming any rights to that estate.
So he couldn't get anything from the estate even if he wanted to.
Correct.
And the people, Elvis's, the people around him, Priscilla Presley and others around him, they know this, correct?
Yes.
And have they acknowledged the veracity of your information here?
I've talked to several of the people. I've talked to Red West, I think it was his name, before he passed away, all of which have acknowledged who John is. But they said, due to the promises that they made to Mr. Presley before he died, that they cannot help him out. The
And
Jo-
Fred was actually at my when I was.
Okay.
the Jordanettes, which were Elvis's backup group, all recognize who John is.
Wow, and that's, and you know, I think it's a perfectly admirable and normal for a guy to go around saying, hey, this is who I am, world, and I'm sorry that there are some folks in the world who will not acknowledge this, but the good news is, we believe you and you're here. So, thank you very much for coming out. Really appreciate it. Can you sing one more?
I'd love
Of
to.
course you can.
It goes there, this goes here.
To go here.
Yeah.
And what's that do right here? Ladies and gentlemen, once more, John Smith Presley.
You know, through time they tell me don't do a daddy song, but hey, what the heck? Is that okay? What do you think? Are you okay with this one? Thank goodness, because, you know, I was getting kind of excited myself there. Can I say that? Oh. Wise men say only fools rush in. Oh, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be said? Oh, but I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too. Oh, but I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Oh, take my hand, take my whole life too. Do y'all want a big ending or a little ending? A big ending or a little? Oh, and I can't help falling in love with You guys, should I introduce my manager? I should introduce my manager, Mr. Dan Moss over there. He's like, no, don't say anything. No, I love him right now. But now he's gonna like really freak out when I say this next little thing here. But it's a small right audience. I mean, what, a couple million? We're okay. I wrote this song the other day. Actually, it's kind of brand new, but I'd like to do it if that's okay. Will that be all right? It's a little song that I would like to, first of all, and of course my manager's going to freak out when I say this, because I love it when that happens, because we're new at this, you know. Yeah. I would like for this song to be given to some sort of charity for children. So here's a little song that goes like this. I walked in to this place where special children live. Brought along my guitar and my songs. There were children in their beds, some were in their chairs. They all clapped their hands and sang along. Then I saw her face, oh, this angel of a child. She smiled when I sat down on her bed. She didn't say a word, but you could see it in her eyes. She looked at me and this is what she said. Please let me love you. Please let me hold you in my arms. Please let me take the hurt away. Please let me love you. Please keep me in your heart. That's something of yours I'll never break. It was time to go. You know, I fall back to tears. Little girls don't want to see their daddies cry. I didn't say a word. You could see it in my eyes. I looked at her and this is what they said. Please let me love you. Please let me hold you in my arms. Please let me take the hurt away. Please let me love you. Please keep me in your heart. That's something of yours. That's something of yours I'll never break. Thank you.
Fantastic, man. Thanks a lot. John Smith, Presley, everybody. Our thanks to John. Our thanks to Paul Cohen as well, the private detective. And Paul Cohen, yeah, sure. Give it up to Paul. And by the way, Paul Cohen is Barry Cohen's dad. That's true. Barry Cohen's dad.
That's my dad. Hey, that's my dad. That's my dad.
Where's your dad?
Wait, that's my dad.
Yeah, well, Barry hired a detective to find out, but yeah. Jeffrey Johnson, Captain Black the movie. Help a brother out. Check out Captain Black the movie. Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Rochelle, for running around doing 19 things at once. James and Mark on camera. How about Terry and Phyllis getting y'all liquored up? How about that? What? And oh yeah, there was a guy who walked up here and introduced the show, and he's running camera and laptop, and oh, by the way, he owns the joint. Extra shout out to Jerry Corley. And we thank you all for your patience here, and we know the air is a bit of a problem. We call it Bikram night here, actually. It's just a little thing that we sell. We could not have asked. This might have been the biggest crowd we've ever had. We could not have asked for a better crowd tonight to welcome this guy, Todd Presley. We thank you all for coming, and good night.